Wednesday, the 10th of January. Excuse me. Yeah, I just lost my thread, my thought there. Anyways, uranium, the past 2 days, very, very interesting. Yesterday, beautiful. Today, gapped up, closed some of it, still ended up, I think, 2%, if I remember correctly. 1%, excuse me. I have a bearish case and a bullish case. I'm always trying to look at both sides. So yeah, let's get straight into business. Very quickly here, spot price again, 90, let's call it 90. Whoops, I'm destroying my keyboard. $94 for the uranium spot price. Again, I think we're going into that 100 into the gap. I just did a quick 3 possibilities here in the video that I just released on the commodities. Go check it out. URA. So where are we in URA? I want you to note this trend line here coming across. That to me is the big one to go. When we break that, obviously we have that 2021 high there. But when we go at some point in time to break that, that is when the fun really, really begins, in my view. And so yeah, that's not correct. That's from the old stuff. There it is. You can see here, the bullish case, yes, yesterday was the turning point, and we're just going higher from now. Yeah, and the bearish case is that actually we are just closing the gap here and that blue resistance. You can see we tagged it here today, and then we're rolling over. That is the bear side. But anyways, I favor, maybe I'm biased, I don't know, but the setup to me looks a lot more bullish, at least long term, that we are going higher, right? So we tagged it here, maybe we do a little dance there, and then we break through. And the fun really begins when we break that one. I think it's more clear now when we go to the URNM. As we discussed, or at least I showed many times on the daily updates, that what we wanted to see was actually, if we do wick to wick here, maybe we make it a double. Anyways, depending on how you add these lines here, you can see here, my thought were that if we're coming sideways in here and bouncing up from that trend line, that we would do, blast higher, and we did. As expected, well, not as expected, but as I thought it could be, that was what we did. I even wrote to one of my guys on Twitter that I think today will really be the day. That was yesterday, and we blasted higher. So yeah, we are now attacking the 2021 highs again. Nothing wrong with that. And we have been consolidating below, and we have gathered some energy to blast higher. Beautiful. The bear case is that this is now a double top. We have actually pierced it just by a fraction, and we could actually be starting to, make some move like this, and then we have to wait a long time, like half a year, before we actually break higher. I do think that we're getting higher prices, and I do think that the momentum here, with all this stuff going on here, the slow grinding below, I favor the upside, but I want to show you we are at double top, and we are actually getting rejected here. We did leave a little bit of a gap. This is the daily candle. So anyway, you look at it, this is not the most ideal candle, but we are just, in my view, for now, we're closing that gap there and actually retesting that, small breakout line. And then this is what we want to see. Exactly something like this. The retest, gap fill, and then away we go. And that bearish talk that I just did, you can throw that away. URNM, URNJ, excuse me. Same thing again here. Again, looks really, really, really good. Broke out of the blue bull flag. We're again in this kind of weird upsloping, in a pinch right here. The bullish thing is that we left the bull flag there, and we actually bounced beautifully on this trend line, and this is where we just blast high, right? Obviously, if we start to crack down here, then that is the bear side. I'll give it an 8. What will I give it? Like an 80-20, I think. I hate to put numbers on, but that is where I am. Maybe a bit lower. I'm trying not to. Maybe I'm too cautious. I don't know. Yeah. Tell me what you think. What do you think, really? Is this the real deal, or do we need, bit of a half a year, 3 months, derail, and then we go higher? And if you can post pictures, you can post them on in the threads or whatever. in the comments, excuse me, that I would very much be happy to see that. Uranium against the uranium stock price, also one of the most important ratios. If you're interested in uranium, you should look at this every week, more or less. Every week is fine here. We tagged there, and now we have a third. So we have 3 impulses, lower lows. So it seems like that Elliott wave is over, and we actually broke out right at the last. We had that last kind of pinch there, and this was yesterday, and now we gapped up and we're closing a bit down here. So again, the bullish side is that this is now a formation that is, how I say it is complete, meaning we have done what we needed to do, and then we grind higher. Or the bear side, if we start to have that, breakdown on the URNM, that could actually have some sort of flash crash. That was a bit deep maybe, and then we go higher. My bullish take is still, long term for 2, 3, 4 years out, hugely bullish. And yeah, I've been saying that many times. So don't get me wrong when I'm showing you these bearish, in my view, possibilities that we could see. But for now, we broke that blue downtrend here. It was quite well defined. You can also make it as a channel, depends on what you want to do. And now we're breaking out. So for now, we saw the bounce exactly where we needed to. Now we need to see how strong it is really. And we have 2 trading days left. Maybe that's not enough. Maybe we need next week to confirm. But XLE against URNM. I actually thought that we were going to bounce here a bit more. But again, we faked out here, and you know it. I think we're going to visit this one at least. Right, fake out, and then you visit the opposite side of your formation. Oh, that's not correct. So XLE again, oil. I did talk about oil in the video on commodities. Again, it's really, really trying to break out here, but it is getting rejected every single time. So until it breaks out, my target is 66 for oil. And I think that's what is it, $5 from now or so. So yeah, but overall, we want this ratio to go down, obviously, in favor of URNM. And yeah, I think we're on the way down to that 2021 low before we see any major reversal in this ratio. URNM against overall commodities. Breakdown here, and we blasted high. You could also argue that it is some bit of a tiny squeeze there. Also the bearish side, again, inward head and shoulders. So sometimes you get a lot of mixed signals, and that's why trading is so goddamn difficult. URNM against Bitcoin. Long term, Bitcoin is still in control. It is. There's nothing, in my view, that can deny that. That bearish channel there. We broke down here. Now comes in my view, always the interesting part. We're squeezing down here for URNM. We broke out today, actually. And again, to me, this points to that we're going in for that big retest. And then we will see what happens. Retesting is usually you test the previous major breakdown trend line and you roll over. Or if it's a false breakdown, and then you get back in, then you had a lot of people here that are short. And if they haven't covered already, they need to do it here. So usually when you get back above, you see these big spikes because people will short it heavily here on the break. And then when the retest fails, and just like that, they are like, oops, I have to cover, unless they haven't done it already. URNM against NASDAQ, the techie tech sector. Again, if you look at this just very quickly, hugely bullish. We have a ceiling here. It is insanely well defined. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And we are, say it with me, breakout bullish consolidation above a somewhat big trend line. It favors the upside. Again, it favors a move like that for the 4th touch, and boom, uranium outperforms the NASDAQ. This is really strong pull. You have the flag here. Again, we have like an 80% chance of this going higher. And yeah, it looks really, really good. Same thing again against the SPY. Huge move, tagged the 2021 high, bull flagging or bullish pennant, you can call it whatever you want to, bullish consolidation below. That's usually, when you go higher. Again, if it doesn't resolve to the upside, there's a big retest incoming sometimes very soon. But again, the odds are in your favor. It really is. XLE against the SPX. So this is how we measure the overall energy sector, mostly oil and gas, by the way, mostly, against the SP 500 or the SPX. And we had a bit of hope here. I'm going to go to the daily, come into the daily with me, breakdown here. And now we came back above right there yesterday, not yesterday, Friday. And then we rolled over again, pointing to actually that XLE is going to heavily, as it stands now, heavily underperform SP 500. Again, that's, I mean, URNM, uranium, is obviously a part of the energy sector, so that's not ideal. We want the broader energy market to outperform, because then uranium will do a lot better. Not saying that uranium can't go up now, but you want the wind in your back with the overall energy sector. So very important to see what happens here as we speak. So, but definitely for now, insanely bearish. Nothing you can deny there. URNM against gold, still breaking out here big time, filling our rising wedge. I will not add anymore because I'm usually calling for retest. It doesn't happen, but maybe it does now because I didn't mention it. Maybe I did. Same for silver. It has broken a long-term, very, very long-term, 10, 15-year long bottoming, inverted head and shoulders. You can see it there. Bear market, huge basing, massive bullish setup, and we're breaking here. Again, looks like uranium spot price is destined to heavily outperform silver. And the target for that formation here is actually at roughly 9, and we are at 4 now. So 120% or so we still have until we reach that target. And I'm hugely bullish on silver for 2024 when we get above that 26. So again, having silver doing, I think will have a great year. And you can actually have uranium spot price outperform that. But again, if silver really gets going, that's probably when you get that retest, and then maybe into 2025, 26, we can meet our target. I will show you quickly some miners that I think looks, if this bull market is, we are going to lift off within 5 trading days, like we discussed before, the bullish and the bearish case, these stocks are actually primed to do very well. They're breaking out of some big formations and some different setups right here. In my view, again, you have the completion of the dated wave, and you're actually trying to break out here of that blue downward channel there. And I think if we can break above and get into 0.08, this one has legs to it. Bear in mind, it's a 15 million, so 15, very, very small market cap company. But again, it looks quite nice here. Hopefully we can break out here, and at least we will go and tag, 0.23 or so, give or take, before we get a pushback. Again, you may do what as you may. Here we have baseload. I really like what I see on baseload right now. Breaking out here, maybe I should go to the daily. You can see peaking above that long-term wedgie right there. Whoops. Again, you can see it here. What did we have there? False breakdown. Actually, it was a major retest, double bottom kind of setup right there. Again, false breakdown. We got back in, and where do we go? The opposite side of the formation. I see it all the time, not always, obviously, but very, very often. We go all the way to the other side. It doesn't mean that we just break out clearly, but yeah, I think you get my drift. Again, here, this is just 1 year worth of squeezing, and it is having a really, really good try right now, breaking out of that long-term wedge. Also, you have that microstructure there, and we broke out today actually with 7%. Also, you can add in the Bollinger Bands on the daily. This is a huge squeeze coming in for the Bollinger Bands, and if this has legs to it, then the Bollinger Bands should start to expand, and you have the uptrend. And I know, because I've looked, you have all the moving averages right here. So if this has legs to it, you will start to see moving averages coming up, lifting base load very, very nicely. The good thing is actually, if this is not the case, then you can place your stop wherever you may, below the yellow line here, or below when we get back into the wedge, or below here if you want to. There's many places you can do it, but you have a really, really good risk-reward ratio when you have these mega squeezes that you get on the daily here. I like that setup. That's one of the setup that I use somewhat often. Not quite identical, but that squeeze and the Bollinger expand is very, very good. I want to show you forces metals here. Nothing much nothing major to say. We have that big golden trend line taken out, retest. And now we're actually breaking above. What I actually did here is just to take that and copy, and you add it on top of the breakout high. And you could actually see that we got a bit of resistance there, but we're clear through now. In my view, we're going to these highs here at roughly 1.8, 1.2, excuse me. But overall, Forces Metals, I think, is destined. Again, if this is the bullish side of things right now. I think long term it will get there, but right now you can see there, right? That's the pole. And if you want to be really, really smart, you can actually see that it lines up quite nicely with the highs over here from this bear trap over there, a bull trap, excuse me. Again, will we get there? I have absolutely no idea, but if we do, that would be insanely nice. I don't think I'll get there with a full position. I think I'll scale out on the way. But anyways, I like what I see here on Forces Metals. Again, it's a smaller company, only 150. FUU needs no introduction. I think I've spoken about this one for a very long time. Again, for the newcomers, my take is this is a major invert head and shoulders break, confirmation, retesting. And to me, we have bullish consolidation above that trend line right there. I hope that made sense. Going to the daily, you can see here actually we are having a very big, somewhat of a micro squeeze right here. I want to see that break. And then if we do that, I think we're just going higher very quickly. Obviously, we don't want to get below that micro blue support right there. That's not ideal. So let's see what happens here in that squeeze. Again, if the URNM really kicks into gear over the next few trading days, closing the gap at the highs, and then we blast above the 2021 highs, why shouldn't this follow? I mean, it's just, the setup is insanely good. And I have a max greed target. That's the invert head and shoulders at roughly 3.3. Again, that's max greed. Maybe if we get there, beautiful. Global Atomic, many people are very bullish on Global Atomic. Fair enough. It has done very well. I didn't expect that V-shaped kind of recovery, but I want to point out we are in this rising wedge here, and we are below or testing that long-term neckline. Again, if we can clear that, then that's just insanely bullish. I will actually also add a head to shoulder. Wow. Okay. We actually have a triple resistance as we speak. You can see here, I didn't notice that actually until just now. You have the high of the head there, and you have, the highs of the shoulder here. And you're actually right there at this double resistance. So if you can clear that and have a successful retest, holy moly, that is a very, very strong view that you can have. You could also be that you retest here and you start to make some, this is the higher high, and you make that higher low at some point here, and then that is when we blast higher again. I think overall Global Atomic has done really, really well compared to this drop here and just grinding it higher here all the time. So Global Atomic looks strong, but it has a big moment in time right here as we speak. ISO energy. There it is, the main consolidation period that we have. It was a big one, breakout into a bullish pennant there, and we're breaking out this week. I think longer term, you can see here we're still, this to me, when breaking out of that golden formation, it points to that we want to get to the upper end of the flag at roughly 6.7. Just like we did, if you look at the URNM, this is quite similar, and then we are actually right here as we speak. So I think that's the exact same case. You have some minor resistances on the way. But yeah, ISO looks really, really good. Laramide, I want to show you Laramide. Here it is. Okay, long-term golden trend line. I would have preferred to have like this one was here. Fair enough, it isn't. But now we're just breaking that right here, right now on the weekly. You can see here, we're breaking out of a 15-year-long trend line. And just before we did, that's actually the most important part. The most important part is not the breakout. Obviously, it is the breakout, but the important part is that we came in, we tagged it, in November, and then we just have, again, repeat with me, bullish consolidation below a major breakout level. We didn't get a huge rejection, right? We had a rejection, yes, and then we started to grind sideways. Exactly what you want to see on some setups. I want to remove that so that's all clear. And now we're having a clear breakout. And if you look at the past 2 days, the volume it's like 5x of the average. So you have a 15-year long breakout with volume over 2 trading days. Beautiful, beautiful. If this really is what I think it is, I think we have resistance. The next big resistance there are is right there, is the wave 1 high at roughly 1.1. And then we have a big moment in time coming up here, over there. Also, we are in this blue, not yet confirmed channel, but we could get all the way up to 3 somewhat quickly. Again, the breakout here, 15-year long breakout, guys. It's a 15-year long breakout that we're seeing right now with volume, with, you know, a lot of potential here. Also, you know, this spring has a lot of energy. This is 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and then we're blasting higher. Looks really, really good. Really, really good. And if we bang on here a Bollinger Band, you can see here, insanely, this is a daily Bollinger Band, insanely tight Bollinger Band, and we're breaking out big volume. The Bollinger Band should do something like that while you huck the upper Bollinger Band. Yeah, nice, really nice. Okay, also mega here, mega uranium. I want to remove some of these beautiful. It's a longer video, I'm sorry, but I think given the past 2 days price action, I think we need to cover this one. I want to show you the long-term stuff here. I hope it's okay with the long video. At least you can listen to my beautiful, beautiful voice as always. Again, big bear market, basing, and the confirmation of the basing is maybe a weekly, even maybe a monthly, but let's take a weekly close above, you know, roughly 0.45 in that range, above this channel here. A monthly close above this channel confirms to me that we're actually going to a major weekly, monthly stage 2 incline. The squeeze here, again, you can see it is right here. There it was, and we're just blasting higher ever since. Maybe we need some resting here, but definitely mega uranium for the past 2 days has done really well, and again, trying to blast higher again. The funny stuff with mega uranium is also, if you want to play with some very greedy targets, there it is. You have the height of the channel of the basing, and you can add it on top. Let's see if we get there. Last one, UROI. UROI, there it is. Okay. A different setup compared to a lot of the other ones, but definitely, again, we have, this is, you know, the next trend line to take out. This was the long-term golden, 2021 high. There it is. Retest, retest. Let's call it a retest. So we have a huge breakout, and then we are bullish consolidating above a major breakout. Again, this points to me that this bull flag wants to break out here. Again, then we have the pole high there for the next minor resistance. But then there is a huge air gap actually in here. And that could actually lead to some quite violent swings to the upside. So yeah, also ISO looks really, really good here. Again, your moment in time, you know, we're retesting bull flagging above major support, previous resistance, beautiful. I love to see when things just wind up, keep winding, and at some point in time, that spring is either going up or down. And we wanted to go up, that is for sure. Again, I gave you the bear side. I still think it's a valid point. I know many people are really, really bullish, me included. But when Twitter go nuts, I'm always trying to see, am I missing something here? Because I'm also very bullish, but everyone else is as well. So I'm trying to see if I can somehow, you know, see it something different. So that's how I see it, that we actually did clip the high, we're closing the gap, and then we fail the retest, and we blast down through that yellow support, and there will be a lot of selling due to people, you know, getting scared. So I think the next few, yeah, this week or next week, we will see which way we go. I want to go up, obviously. I have spoken a lot, actually. I think it's very, very interesting point in time for URNM. If we really can clear that 2021 high, wave 3 is in full motion, and that is a lot higher. You know, the price target for wave 3 is a lot higher than we are today, 200. So that's very nice. Do I have more to say? No, please let me know in the comments, what do you think? Again, I know many people are very bullish, me included, but again, look at the other side of the coin. XLE is going down here, oil going down. Maybe that is the kicker to, I don't know. Let me know. I will answer more or less every single comment that I get.